Hi Internet. In today's video, I am going to talk about how to create reusable components in Vue using Tailwind. So without further ado, let's get started. Here, I am showing you how to create pure UI components using VueJs and Tailwind. I believe this method gives enough flexibility and control over the UI components in the long run. We are going to use a relatively new feature of the Vue library to make these components, specifically the slots feature. I'll be sticking to composition API as I believe it is the future of Vue apps going forward. I have already created a Vue project to get started, and here I am using Tailwind for CSS styling, but you can use any CSS framework instead of Tailwind. Here I have created a folder called lib where I am keeping all the reusable components. The idea is to make it standalone such that we can package it as an npm package or simply copy it over to a new project. First of all, we can create a card component, and it will have three sections, namely header, body and footer. We will use these three slots for these portions and name it the same.
Now let's head over to the folder and then open the app.vue, and inside the lib component we can make a card component.vue, and in that I'm going to add the slots here. Before that I would add the classes for the card. So I would like to style it a little bit better, so I would add some styling classes of Tailwind here. Now I can go ahead and add the slots here. So I would add three slots, namely header, body and footer. So with that I would say that the card component is done, because this is a pure UI component, so we don't need any script tag, so that's why I removed that. And now we can go to the home view and import the card component here, and use the card component in two different ways here. That's what I am going to show, the same component but used in two different ways. So let's get rid of the main tag and then add a div to encompass both of the card components. And I will also style this using the flexbox properties to get an even spacing between the two cards, and would add a background. So as you can see, nothing is happening. Yeah, I think I forgot to start the npm server. So let's start the npm server. Now let's go ahead and look, and it's showing nothing. Let's inspect and see if there is those classes, and I can see that the classes are there. So let's go ahead and add the card component inside of this div. So we can use the slots here. So I would add the three slots, and I would use the hash notation, so hash header, hash body and hash footer. So anything we write inside of these template tags will be displayed inside the slots. Now I will go ahead and style the header. So inside of the header there will be two tags, a h2 tag and a button. So I will add the h2 tag now. This can be anything, h2, h3, but I'm using h2 here, and I would style that to look good, and I will add a text there. Now we can go ahead and add a button. So since I've been using justify between, the h2 tag and button would be spaced apart, and it would be on the left and right side of the card. Now I am styling the button to look nice. I would add a text there. Let's see how everything looks. So still the card is a bit small, so I would like the card to extend to the full length, so I would add a height, but since we haven't added a height to the body, this won't work, so I will add a minimum height to the body and the div encompassing that. So now it extends to the whole length of the browser. So since we are using flex row, it would extend all the way there. So for the time being I would use that, and then I have a trick at the end of the tutorial to get that to extend nicely. So I would also add a width to the card component of 1/3, so I can have a nice spacing to that. And then I would also add some padding to the button to make it look nice. Now we can add the body template. So I'm using the lorem ipsum tag there to fill in some texts, and it extends beyond the height of the whole card component. So I would add a div there and set a particular height for that div, and I would add an overflow so that it would be contained inside that div. So it's not contained because we are using full height there, so I would remove the height. So it now looks better, but since we are using percentage there, that would not work. So I would add a fixed height and also cover up the body there, so it looks nice. And then I would add a border to the header section to differentiate it from the body. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, it's looking better. I would also add the footer now. So it's coming together nicely. I would also copy that border over to the body so that all three sections would have nice differentiation. Now let's go ahead and make the second card component. I would also add a width to this class, but here I am only using the header and the body tag because I am planning to have a image on top and some text in the bottom. So I copy pasted the text to the body, and I would change the flex direction to row and would add a gap so that it would look nicely. So right now both of them are of the same height, and I'm going to add an image here. So I have already added the image to the assets folder, and I'm referencing that image here. So if you see, both the cards are of the same height. So there is a trick to stop the first card to extend the whole way. So the trick is to add a margin bottom margin bottom auto, and it will not stretch the whole way up to the bottom, so it looks nice. And then I would add a class to the image to make it look nice. So I rounded the top of the image and added a margin so that it would have a separation from the text. And also if you noticed, I have added a negative margin to the whole image, because we are using a padding to the card. So in order to compensate that, I am adding a negative margin. And as you can see, there is a border which we have added to the card component, and I'm overriding that here in the instance, so that's also possible. So that's all from now. So this is how you make pure UI components using Tailwind and Vue. So thanks for watching. See you in a next video. Bye.